far? I tell you what, let's put some music on.
Okay.
Another new Christmas song. Have you got to put up with another one of these this year?
I like this one.
You would. Is that him? Quick, turn it off.
Why?
You know what he's like? He goes into a full elf explanation about anything musical. It doesn't fit his taste.
It won't go off. It won't go off.
There's a bit too much chatting going on in here. We've got work to do. You're on a deadline. What's that? Why have you got music on it? What's that? A new Christmas song? Another new Christmas song.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
You know what? This really clamps my nipples. You would like it. You think pop music is great, but it's just the same songwriting tropes, the same things that have been regurgitated for the last, I don't know how long.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Let me break this song down and tell you what's wrong with it. Now before we go into this, all the opinions that you hear in this video are all amplified to angry. Now keep that in mind when you're commenting on the opinions of an angry elf. Now the song we're going to break down is called Together at Christmas, or Together on Christmas with Together this Christmas on Christmas by Maisie Peters. I'm sure she's a lovely person. I don't know whether she's written this on her own or with the help of someone else. But either way, we're going to break it down to show you what I hear when I listen to songs like this. And my problem isn't with the song. My problem isn't with Christmas music. I love Christmas. Music. My problem is with pop music. Now before we break down the different sections of the song and look at the chord movement like we usually do for these videos, I want you to listen to the song and make a note of all the first things that spring to mind. What does it remind you of? Does it take you back to a certain time of your life that you enjoyed? Does it remind you of a certain person? Does it remind you of a certain song? As musicians, we want to get in tune to these little hints, these voices in your head that says, oh, wait. I know what that is. Because it helps us work it out by ear. With enough experience, you can work out music without an instrument. You can just listen to it and almost predict exactly where it's going to go. So we'll all wait here while you go and listen to the song and make a few notes. I'm only joking. I wouldn't make you wait that long, would I? I just did, I suppose. What's the first rule of YouTube? Make them wait. That's not a rule. Now the first main section of the song goes like this. So feel free to play this if you want to. Change the tempo, change the way that you play it, and see what this reminds you of. Now when you first listen to the song, you have all the main Christmas tropes. You've got big bongy bells, bing, bong, bing, you know the ones that I mean. You've got sleigh bells in there. It's upbeat, it's in 4/4 times, it's slightly kind of swung, very bouncy. The only thing that's missing from the intro is the old ba-bum, 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 bum. You know what I mean? Vary the speed, vary the texture that you play, and see if it reminds you of any other songs.
So let's break that down a little bit. We have C major to E major. But that doesn't fit in the key of C major. It shouldn't actually go. It doesn't naturally occur. What they've done is they've changed the E minor, what would be E minor, they've made that into major. There's a lot of songs that have done this. E is the major third from C's. And if you look at the same chord relationship but in different keys, we have songs like Creep, which have done exactly the same thing. That's the biggest resemblance that I can hear. The first time I listened to this song, I could sing Creep over the top. I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo, what the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Why does that work? That last section in Creep, what they do is they take the fourth and they make it minor. It gives you a minor plagal cadence. I love a minor plagal cadence, and that's how they do the turnaround in Creep. But what they've done with this is instead of having F minor with the turnaround, they've used its relative, which is A flat. A flat major is a direct relative of F minor. So it implies the same function, but without the same darkness. Which is why you can still sing Creep over the top of this song. I just noticed my skin's very bright. Like one of those weird vampires. There you are, it's a bit more normal. So are there any other songs that do the same thing? Yes. There's the song by the Hollies. Basically, Creep repackaged, or Radiohead repackaged the Holly song. I don't know, there's a whole thing about it. You can find other videos about it, but I love both songs. Another song that does a similar thing. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes. Only, again, that last turnaround doesn't feel the same. But when you listen to this song, it kind of flags up a lot of those things. You can sing a lot of different songs over that chord progression up until the turnaround, and up until the A flat, and then B flat, and then C. And it functions the same way, it just builds up tension slightly differently. And what I hear over those last three chords is Mr. Blue Sky. But let me know in the comments if you hear anything else. All the songs that you're most familiar with, the things that you know that have been a big part of your life in the past, it's going to flag up those parts of your brain and remind you of how you felt that time that you heard it.
Now the reason why there's so many similarities with every new song that comes out is because it's pop music. It's supposed to be popular. It's supposed to be sold to millions. Imagine a cross-section of a country. What are they going to like? That's what this song is for. At Christmas, it's even worse because it's a seasonal thing. No one's going to want to buy this song at any point of the year outside of the couple of months of Christmas. So what they do is, they put even more of these similarities in. So those things that you listen to and you can't put your finger on what it is, but there's a waft of familiarity. And it fools you into thinking that it's good. It reminds you of the past, reminds you of something else that's kind of stuck to it. It's a parasite piggybacking on a memory that you've already got and fooling you into thinking, oh, I like this one. Oh, that's got the same beat as everything else. Now, after that, we've got a little pre-chorus, I suppose you'd call it, which is this. Now, before we break this down on the guitar, I'll explain about some of these chords and the movement. But I want you to explore it on your own, play it in your own way, and see if it reminds you of anything in particular.
Now this reminds me of a few things. I love the way these chords move, by the way. Hushabye Mountain. That's the one. It's also exactly the same chord sequence as... And there's a song that's in my brain, I don't know what it is. Oh wait, it just came to me. What's the song in X-Men when the really fast dude puts his earphones on and just starts obliterating everybody super fast? I think his name's Quicksilver, but I don't know what the song is. I do know what the song is. I've done a full tutorial on the platform.
So why does this work? Now this is a complete contrast in sound to the verse section, where it's all happy, it's all merry, even though they imply that minor plagal cadence, as we discussed like from Creep. Instead of using F minor, they use its relative major chord, which keeps it bright, but still holds similar function. So that whole section sounds bright and happy and lifting and bouncy. This is the point where it goes dark. This is the relative minor of C. This next chord, A minor major 7. The little bracket tells you to add that interval in. So it's an A minor triad with a major 7th interval. You don't get that naturally in this key, in the C major key. That doesn't occur at any point. So there's tension with that one. If you want specifics, I see that chord as functioning very similarly to an E augmented. It shares a lot of the tonal values, it's just there's an A in there. Then we have A minor 7, so that justifies the movement. Imagine the root note, when your little finger plays A minor, that goes down by 1 fret to play the major 7, and it goes down another fret to play A minor 7. Now with that movement, you'd assume that the same is going to happen again, and it does. In a D chord, there's an F sharp note. You don't even have to physically move to that next F sharp note on the fretboard. It's already implied by the fact that you're playing D, and it makes that movement work. The note moves from A to G sharp, which is the major 7th, to G, which is the minor 7th, and then to F sharp from D. That's why those 4 chords work. Then we got 2 bars of F. There's a big block. This is a build-up of tension. You know that it's the end of the sequence is coming now. It's kind of, that's the initiation. Think of it like going up a roller coaster. It's like you know what's happening. Just lifting it a little bit because it's bright. You'd expect it to go to G next and give you a perfect cadence. But it doesn't. It goes to F minor. And that's the payoff that we've been wanting from the beginning part of the song. F minor is a minor plagal cadence. In my opinion, it's a nicer cadence than the others. It's a bit more colourful, but do you need all that in one song? Or one section of a song? You can be the judge of that. I think it's too much. I think for a Christmas song, they focus so much of it in. It's like, let's throw this in. Yeah, they're going to recognise this from something else. Let's do it and put it in. Yeah, put that one in there. Where's that thing? Put that one in from that other song as well. It's like it doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know what it wants to borrow from. All these different things. It's just a little bit of an ugly Frankenstein of cut and pasted theoretical stuff. We don't need all that stuff. You just write a nice song that you can get behind and it's from your heart. But that F minor, the minor plagal cadence, leads us back to C for the chorus. Now looking at the top line first, we've got C, which is the tonic, that's the key, C major. The last chord before it repeats back to C is G, that gives us a perfect cadence. And the F comes before it to help build that tension. I think of F to G as a build of tension in itself. You know, F builds tension, G builds more tension, and then C resolves the tension. It's kind of a crashing of a wave kind of thing. The D minor and A minor are interesting. Yeah, it's odd. Now, A minor and F are related, and D minor is a type of cadence that will lead to A minor somewhat. But C to D feels odd to me. It always has felt a little bit strange when you go from C to D minor. It, I don't know, it stands out to be different. You don't hear it that often, which is why I quite like that. That section, that bit there. Now at the end of the second repeat, we go on to E. It goes from G to E, which is an odd change. You get the movement of a G note going to a G sharp note from an E major chord. You shouldn't get that in the key of C. It should be E minor, but they've changed every E minor chord in this song, it seems, to E major, which is quite interesting. It's quite nice. But this whole section is basically a repeat of the turnaround from the verse. It's the same chord sequence as the last couple of bars of the verse. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't have a problem with this song. I got a problem with the way that pop music tries to sell to everybody by taking different elements from other songs just enough to remind you of what it is, but not enough to get sued by them. And I can't believe that Michael Bublé has not sued this person for this song. It's unbelievable. A beautiful day. It's almost as if someone's programmed an old Casio keyboard with all the main parts of Christmas. The big bongy bells, the sleigh bells, the different instrumentations. You got chords programmed to one key and they just bonk about and it just does it all for you. That's what every Christmas song and pop song sounds like to me. But that's what pop is, and it's the reason why it's so disposable. You forget about this song next year. I don't think it's going to come up again, but I think it's attached to a film. So the ones that are attached to films
are usually the ones that get puked out every year. You know, that people will rewatch the film and re-experience the song. But if it's just the song on its own, it's very rare that a Christmas song is actually going to do very well, because it's all been done. It's all been done before. But I'm really interested to know, what's your favourite Christmas song, and would you be angry if someone released a song that sounded exactly the same as it? Because elves are. You're the worst Christmas jumper I've ever seen.